Now what I want to show you is how to do the wall side planks, but I want to show you how the core is a house of cards. My last exercise was 48 hours ago, but as you can see when I step on this straight edge, this is actually my plank strip, that my hips are square and they remain square no matter what stance width I go to. That is a measurement of the front side of my, if you divide my body in half this way, front to back, what you're looking at in terms of my hip line is that my hips are square. The other thing you want to notice, and I'll move this one this way, and one other thing you want to notice is that the way my hands hang at my side. Say for example, if you're playing golf, you may have heard grip your club the way your arms and hands hang at your side. So here I am on an upper core number. Notice how my hands, I'm square, and notice how my hands hang exactly the same. Now I'm going to move to a mid-core number, and you'll notice my hands just moved out. They're both exactly the same. But if you look at the internal-external rotation, you'll notice that my hands hang exactly the same. And when I go to a lower core number, you'll notice they go out further. All you're seeing is two things. Number one, when I have symmetry, my hands are going to be exactly the same within my core region, whatever core region I'm in. So, for example, that's one, lower core. This is 3, also lower core. And this is 2, also lower core. And you'll notice my hands hang exactly the same. So if I go to 8, upper core, notice my hands just turned in. That's 8 upper core. This is 9 upper core, still the same, and 7 upper core. Again, they're still hanging the same. So when you have symmetry, your hands will hang the same, but a little different by core region. What this is about is heel to toe balance. I want to show you now how the core is a house of cards. So this is the front side of my core. I'm going to move this over. When you're doing these exercises, you want to use a yardstick to make sure you're always the same distance from the wall. Now there are two ways to do the side plank. The first way I'm going to show you is going to be, well, let me show you this one. Now there are two ways to do the wall side plank. First one is, I'm going to show you, has to do with the back of the core. Just the back of the core. You'll notice it again how my hands hang. They're going to be, I'm on 7, core region 7. Notice that my hands, they're going to have same internal, external rotation, exactly the same. Okay, that's an important concept because this is going to demonstrate a couple of things. And that is, well, first of all, first of all, I want you to see that if I take a step forward, because my front of my core and back of my core are absolutely square, I can take a big step as though we're lunge, and you'll notice that my hips remain absolutely square from both sides. If I take that same step back, my hips are square. If I take the same step back with the other foot, my hips remain square. So the forward step has to do with the glutes, the back of the core. So if I'm out of balance in the back of the core, you're going to see a rotation left or right. If I take a step with my left, you're going to see a rotation right. If I take a step with my right, you're going to see a rotation left. But as you just saw, my hips are very square. So I'm going to do, to get to the back of the core, to train the back of the core, on a side plank, you're going to use your inside foot. So I go to the stance width, one of my 9 core region stance widths. You're going to do them all. I'm going to put my hand on the wall and I'm going to raise this foot. Now, there are many, many different ways. I'm recruiting Region 7, by the way, right now. There are a number of ways you can do this. I'm going to do 10 wall push-ups here. Now, when I come back to 7, you'll notice my left shoulder just dropped. Okay? If you looked at me from the front, even though my left shoulder just dropped, looked at me from the side, you'll notice my hips are still square. So how do I know that I've impacted the back of the core? Because now when I take a step forward, I get rotation. So I have just, the core is a house of cards. I have to do all 9 on both sides in order to gain symmetry of the back of the core. So the dying or dead bug balances the back of the core, creates symmetry. This also creates symmetry. So when you do these exercises, you're going to do, for example, dead bug and inside leg to do the back of the core. I'll show you in a moment how to do the front of the core.